What's the good word, Josh? Your boy DKB here. Let's talk Jordan Travis. So on the heels of rookie minicamp being in full effect, we've heard some comments from Jordan Travis now about what his future expectations are. He was pretty bluntly asked if he expects to be able to take over for Aaron Rodgers. And he did, and I'm paraphrasing here, answer that he does think pretty often about replacing Aaron Rodgers as the starting quarterback, although he is focused and fully intent on just getting healthy, fully diving into his role as obviously being a rookie quarterback with two established veterans ahead of him, and then just trying to be a great teammate and bring the other third-string guys, etc., along with him and try to help elevate their games. And it's the perfect mindset. He really is in one of the more unique situations in the NFL when you just take a look at the New York Jets atmosphere, because he somehow does have these expectations that he will replace Aaron Rodgers. And that essentially almost never happens from day three quarterbacks, especially right off the bat without any, meaningful practices with pads on, without preseason games being done, etc., right? Even Brock Purdy, he didn't break out till he needed to due to injury during the regular season. And then you had your outliers like guys like Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott. But largely, this is only something that happens in the New York market, right? We get very hyped about certain things. Quarterback is definitely at the top of the list pretty consistently, but I think the Jets finally have the perfect plan and depth chart in place, essentially, to make this work, right? This is what if this was Zach Wilson's name inserted here instead of Jordan Travis, let's say last year, we would be raving about what Zach Wilson would be looking like now in 2024. Jordan Travis is getting that immense luxury right now. He when you take a look at Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor, right? Let's just break down what Jordan Travis is going to be benefiting from here. 32 games of experience, 32 years of experience in the NFL. It's almost 1.5 times, if not a little bit more or less, Jordan Travis's age right now. 11 Pro Bowls, 4 MVPs between the two. Obviously, most of those accolades going to Aaron Rodgers, but 323 games of experience. And keep in mind, folks, Aaron Rodgers, you're missing anywhere between 40 or 50 so games, not including playoff stuff, that he just didn't really get to do because he was sitting his first 3 years in the league. So this is immense for him. Not only does, we're in an offseason where I think the expectation will be that maybe Aaron Rodgers is fully invested once again based on what we've seen in these early weeks, him already being with the team, him already being invested, and communicating with some of these rookies. We've heard that he reached out to Jordan Travis along with Tyrod Taylor, congratulating them, showing excitement. He seems bought into the fact that he could hand the keys over to Jordan Travis, which is nice, right? Because I'll admit I was a little concerned that maybe there would be some issues with a Jordan Love type situation, but it's not that kind of hype. They invested their top resources in helping him out, and so taking a shot on a day three guy is just a drop in the bucket. So I'm glad he's perfectly prepared to groom him and stuff. And then even as far as the coaching staff, I know we are hard on these guys, and we should be, but realistically, they're the bottom third of the totem pole in the NFL. There's still some highlights there, though, specifically looking at a guy like Todd Downing, passing game coordinator last year. He's now adding quarterback coach to his duties. It's not a new position or role for him, right? The two things that made me the most excited about Todd Downing when we hired him before, excluding the DUI, it was weird seeing us replace a bunch of guys just to bring in one or two more, but nonetheless, he did great work with Derek Carr early on in his career. And then the transformation for Ryan Tannehill once he got his hands on him with the Titans was beautiful. Turned him into a borderline MVP and top 12 quarterback for the handful of years that he's had him with. So there's obviously something that he can work with there. And yes, there was other great pieces, but you're starting to see those same semblances here in New York, where we have our Brees Hall workhorse back. We have an elite wide receiver one in Garrett Wilson. You're having an offensive line that now on paper looks like a top 5 to 10 unit. So there's really no excuses here not to be able to take full advantage. With Tyrod Taylor, I think he needs to embrace this scenario of this unique atmosphere he's in of being the guy, right? If you can show something starting from training camp, right? I think that's the earliest we're expecting him to realistically be healthy, start meaningful training, football training activities. If you can have I can never remember these guys. Matt Flynn is one of them. The Packers had another quarterback that threw like 6 touchdowns in a preseason game, and we all thought that he was going to be like the next legend. But nonetheless, go out and show something at every stop, right? The key goal in year number 1, at the high end of things, right, expectation-wise, is that if you can force the Jets to be bought in 100%, they're not expecting to have to use, key resources in the draft next year, talking about day 1, day 2 picks, to have to move up or go out or find a quarterback at any of those selections. Not only are you getting a huge relief in terms of the cap and the contract situation with a guy like Jordan Travis, but then you can continue to insulate and build around this offense, continue to help out with keeping the defense elite and having those pieces in place. And, while I'm talking about it, I just continue to think that this could finally be how things have worked out for the New York Jets. We finally gave a quarterback time to not have pressure from day one to come out here and be the next Joe Namath for the New York Jets, not have to come out and get a Super Bowl or, see back-to-back-to-back playoff appearances right out of the gate. Give him a chance to learn, find out how to be a professional in the NFL league, how to develop these elite, training practice habits, building chemistry with his teammates, etc., etc. There's a lot that goes into the position, regardless of some of the more consistent things that we hype on. But I'm extremely excited, right? And again, I touch on this about every chance I get. In a perfect scenario for Jordan Travis, he makes the playoffs. He ends up winning himself a championship. And honestly, I think he could have been going as high as a borderline round 1 pick, certainly in round 2, with the way things were looking for him. You're talking about a quarterback that's ended his college career with 17 straight wins. How quarterbacks are winning means a lot to me, and just the fact that they are winners means a lot to me. That doesn't always translate, but still, there's certain things that I just personally think, in terms of my, credo, if you will, for judging certain positions or players, is more meaningful. With that said, though, Jordan Travis does he's not bringing just a backup level skill set to the NFL. He's going to be one of the more athletic guys to grace the NFL in some time, in my opinion. Not that he's, it's not in the Lamar Jackson realm or Justin Fields or anything like that, but he's plenty mobile, athletic, and capable of doing some freaky things in his own right, even if he doesn't have the top 5 arm or the elite processing speed, at least as of right now, etc., etc. And that's exactly what we're hoping we can build on. So I'm very, very curious how this turns out. If he can get this coaching staff's, buy-in and approval, I think it definitely works both ways. You see it early with a Malachi Corley. The team seems very, very invested in trying to get him on a starting path right out of the gate as a key pivotal option in this offense. I have the same hopes for Jordan Travis, right? So ultimately, do we have the Jets' best quarterback room in the NFL? Probably not. I can't really think of many that are better. But that conversation aside, this is definitely the best quarterback room for the Jets that I can think of in a long, long time. You know, you take a look at the list of a lot of other guys we've tried to put in this position, and there's always kind of been these, and no disrespect, like half-ass backup quarterback situations where we had these fake training camp battles and stuff. When you think about like Geno Smith and Mark Sanchez and Mark Brunell, I can't even think about a lot of the other quarterbacks that we brought in. Nonetheless, the point is Jordan Travis seems to be on the best path to finally breaking this curse for the New York Jets. I don't know about this whole quarterback factory situation Joe Douglas is talking about. It's a nice sentiment. You ultimately have to go out and prove it, just like those that are saying we're not a top team in the NFL and doesn't look like we will make the playoffs. It's not worth really arguing to them. Let's go out there and prove it. Shut these guys up. So ultimately, let me know what you guys think, though, when it comes to Jordan Travis. Are you expecting him to really be the next guy for the New York Jets? Are you only looking at him specifically as a backup? Or do you think he may flame out in the NFL? And I'll catch you guys again. Peace.